hockey card.
Yeah, it's incredible. Oh yeah, I'm
do you
very
have a couple
aware.
of those cards? Just tongue in cheek, do you have a couple of those cards? And what was your experience like with the Penguins as a player?
Well, first off, with the hockey cards, I don't know how many they printed off because I keep on signing them. My experience for that day, everything happened really quick. I was in Muskegon having breakfast, and all of a sudden I got the call to come up, and it was a fun dressing room to walk into with everybody that was here. Everybody knows who played during that time. I think the highlight was just I got there around 4 o'clock, and the first guy to walk over was Paul Coffey, just saying congratulations on your first game. The second one was Mario. So, but yeah, I think the game was 2-2, and back then it was against the Islanders, and it was a tie game, and it was just a great experience.
Todd, you've been in the NHL before. What made this the right time or the right situation to come back to it?
That's a great question because I never expected this. Like 2.5 weeks ago, I was in Dallas, and all of a sudden I got a phone call from the Caps, and they said, Pittsburgh's asking for permission. Do you want to talk with him? I said, yeah, I'll kick some tires and see what happens. So then Dan called me up about 2 hours after he got permission, and we talked and we hit it off. We had good conversation, and in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, well, I'm still going to go back to Hershey. I really enjoy being a head coach. And we talked, and then he called me the day after that. We talked again and had another really good conversation. Then 2 days later, they said, well, do you want to come in here and meet everybody in the organization? And that's what I did. And as the day grew on, just talking with Dan and Kyle, it just felt more intriguing to me. And then they made me an offer, and I talked to my wife about it, and I'm going, well, I spent quite a few years in the American League, had my degree of success there, and I was up for the challenge, something new. Obviously, I liked what I heard about what we're trying to do here, and to work with some of the talent here, it's going to be fantastic. So I'm looking forward to the opportunity, and very excited to get going.
You coached against Wilkes-Barre tons, so you got a good look at the future. Who were some of the standouts in those games that you're maybe excited to get up here at this level now?
Well, they had many, especially when they beat us 9-0 the one game. They all looked good that night. No, but as individuals, I won't go into individuals, but as a group, as a forward group, highly skilled, they can really make plays. As you mentioned, we saw them 12 times, and so the Hershey fans aren't too excited that I'm here right now. But anyways, I saw some of the young talent coming up, and they gave us fits. So it's an exciting time.
With Hershey, you won at the highest level, and you also developed talent for the NHL club. Not every American League team does that. What's the challenge in terms of trying to win while also developing talent and, I guess serving two masters, if that's the right phrase. What's the challenge in those two?
Well, it is a balance because in a place like Hershey, even Grand Rapids when I coached there, we have an obligation to the fans of Hershey to win hockey games. It's a historical franchise, but also we have to develop players. And so I think Washington has done a great job of bringing in veteran players to help us win, but also tug along the young guys, and their draft picks are starting to pan out a bit. So it's a combination of both. But I think winning is a form of development, to be quite honest with you. I've always said if you don't have success at the minor league level, how do you expect these kids to go up and play in the Stanley Cup playoffs and feel comfortable in those situations? So it's a balance. Obviously, like there's mandates, so it's certain guys that you may not be able to sit out. So it's a hard league to coach in because you carry a lot of players and you have to keep everybody happy. But it's a balance between developing and winning, and like you can do it. There's teams in the American Hockey League that have that philosophy, and they've been very successful.
What is some of your power play philosophy? It's kind of been an up and down thing here with this team over the last handful of years. What do you like? What do you bring in that regard?
Well, it's funny. We're going through the analytics and the numbers a couple days ago, and showing 5-on-5 play and all this stuff. And the only part of the analytics that showed green, which is good, was the power play at 26% last year. So right away there's pressure, right? And then the year before it wasn't that great, right? No, basically, you know, you don't have to overthink the power play. I think the biggest thing is just working together, getting pucks to the net, attacking the net. You know, make sure that you lose when you shoot the puck. You have to retrieve those loose puck battles. You know, come with speed off the breakout, and just everybody working together. And that's the biggest thing, is trying to find the personnel that works well with each other, because you're dealing with high-end skill. You're dealing with guys that, you know, they're all very proud hockey players, and sometimes it might look good on paper, but it doesn't really mesh well on the ice. So that's something that we'll talk about as a group and figure it out moving forward.
Just wondering, have you had any conversations with guys like Sid yet, and just what is it like to have the opportunity to coach a player like him at this level?
I have not talked. Actually, I talked to Cindy when I came in for the job interview. You know, he was here, so I don't know if that was by design or it was just coincidence or whatever. But I talked to him for a bit there. But once we get through this week, you know, and get settled in, as a coaching staff, we're just trying to mesh, because we're all new, and so it's a good week for us to get together. But no, it's a tremendous honor to coach, you know, Sidney Crosby. You know, like all my friends at home are calling like, this would be unbelievable, and you know, but you know, and you know, not just Sidney, but a bunch, you know, a whole lot of good players here, and so, you know, you're coaching at the highest level, so it's just a really big honor for me.
The Penguins just signed Alexiev. He's someone you had in.
Pardon me, sorry?
The Penguins just added Alexiev.
Yeah.
You had him in Hershey. What are the Penguins getting in him, and what does he need to do to find success at this level?
Well, first off, he hasn't played a lot of hockey. You know, if you look at how many games he played, he didn't play a lot during the regular season, and all of a sudden he plays 10 playoff games, right? So he's kind of thrown into the fire. But Alex came down to us for 3 games for conditioning, and you know, he's a big guy. He's a man now, you know, because he wasn't playing a lot, so he was working out all the time. So he's really filled out with his frame, you know. But he skates well. He can make a good first pass. He competes hard in the corners, and so, you know, I think he just has to get playing. And once he gets playing and gets in a rhythm, I think he'll be highly effective.
Thanks, Todd.
Thank you.